Greetings, Earthlings. Today we're going to talk about the Organic Tools FruitCat fruit and nut harvesting machine. This is a new product at Earth Tools that we've recently started to carry. Made in Austria. These things are a very well thought out little machine that we developed an interest in mainly because we had a lot of requests for a fruit or particularly nut harvester to go on our walk behind tractors. Well, there's not a lot of manufacturers, in fact there's none that we've found actually making a nut harvester for a walk behind tractor to pick nuts up off the ground. But we found this Austrian company, actually a customer had found this thing and emailed me a link on it and said, hey, you might be interested in this. So it is electric powered, operated by an electric bike battery actually. There's we're typically stocking a 14.5 amp hour battery, although there is a 10.5 available at a lower price. But the 14.5 obviously gives you more operating time. Got its onboard electric motor. And the thing has these kind of soft rubber or silicone paddles that rotate to scoop the crop off the ground and throw it into a collection basket in the back. There is a brush in between that gets out about 90% of the grass and leaves and stuff like that, and the light chaff that it doesn't have enough force to penetrate through there, and it just drops the chaff out the bottom. And of course you can clean it off very easily by doing that. This shield over the top right here is called a nut shield. I've put that on here because we're going to be picking up some stuff that's really small. Basically, if the crop you're picking up is smaller than your typical apple or pear, you're going to want this on there to keep it from expelling the crop back out the top. This kind of keeps everything in there until it flops back into the back bin in the back, your collection bin. So a few questions and answers right off about this thing. People will often say, well, why are the wheels bent? Why does this thing look like it fell off a pallet and it bent the axle? At first I thought, well, maybe it's some interesting thing about how it holds a hill better if they're cocked in like that. But no, it's simpler than that. Right here on the sides, you've got these two little flanges that stick out, one on each side. And that, as you're moving the machine forward, is going to take whatever crop is lying here. Say there's an apple here and you're progressing forward, it's going to kind of roll that apple into where it can be picked up. Well, when the bottom of the wheel is bent in so that it's inside this width, you can move this thing forward and not run over any crop that hasn't been picked up. So essentially, the cocked in wheels just guarantee that where the wheels are rolling, the crop has already been harvested. So good engineering there. The handlebars are fully and easily adjustable. You just loosen these little deals here up and the thing will go down or up in any, well, that's the lowest position right there. And you want the thing kind of low typically because you want to be able to kind of operate it. It should be balanced pretty well. If you have to reach way up here, it's usually not as good. But just do whatever is comfortable for your height. Let's see, other things. The operation will be, you turn the key on, and then this is going to activate the paddles. It is not self-propelled. This is just a push-only machine, but the thing weighs like 70 or 80 pounds empty, and with these great big wheels on there, it pushes with virtually no effort. And with all the maneuvering you're doing, picking up crops and going around trees and even up and down slopes, I mean, the thing weighs so little that it pushes on the slopes with virtually no effort. So it doesn't really need to be self-propelled. If you had a self-propelled drive system, you'd actually lose time shifting it back and forth between forward and reverse. It's just so much easier to roll the thing. Anyway, once the key is on, you just pull this lever here to start your paddles going, and then this is your speed control. And essentially, you want to select whatever speed is the minimum speed that effectively picks up the crop that you're picking up at the time. So heavier, denser things are going to require a little more speed to pick them up. But if you have it faster than you need to for a particular crop, you're just beating it up a little extra. And I should also mention here that for picking up fruits such as apples and pears and whatnot, plums, peaches, it's going to rough them up a little bit. So if the fruit is ripe, you know, it's not going to pick up fruit and leave it in the condition that you would sell it at farmer's market. This is for picking up fruit that's going to be processed, either for cider apples, cider pears, you know, fruit that's going to be made into jams or preserves or, you know, apple butter or whatever. It's going to be processed in some way. If you pick up fruit that's intended to be sold as fresh fruit, you're going to have a few bruises on it. I mean, you can't handle something mechanically like that and expect it not to come out with a few dings in it. But for things like nut crops, you know, hickory nuts, walnuts, pecans, anything like that, of course, it's not going to do any damage to those. Now, normally here in Kentucky, and we're in October right now, we've got tons of black walnuts, and I could normally just pull under a black walnut tree and just run this thing around and pick up all that I wanted. This year, we have almost no black walnuts. They had a bumper crop for the last 2 years, and the trees are taking a break. So, what we are harvesting today is balls. I have kids, you see, and they played with balls, and now the kids are grown, so the balls are just lying around. I got a few random apples thrown in here, golf balls. It actually does a pretty good job picking up golf balls, so that's another possible market for this tool. And I've got a couple random black walnuts in here that I managed to find. So we're just gonna dump these things out. That one's kind of big. I don't know if it'll actually pick this up. This is an experiment to see if it's gonna pick it up or not. So I'm just gonna run this around and we're gonna see what it takes to pick all this stuff up. I may have to adjust the speed a little as I go over things here with all the various sizes. This is really kind of a challenge because it's typically you're picking up one crop that's one particular size. This is a bunch of mixed things. So here we go. Some of this lighter stuff, these are really light, so they didn't have sufficient force to actually go through that leaf shield. They just bounced out of the leaf shield. So what I'm going to do is try to increase the speed a little, and maybe that'll generate enough force to flip them up in there. Nope. Yep, don't try it on really lightweight balls. Of course, no fruit is going to weigh as little as this. This is just an air-filled ball, so we're not going to worry about that. Same with that thing, it has no weight at all. So, super light balls are not a good demonstration, but everything else was picked up quite handily. And then when the harvest basket is full, you just reach up here with your foot, tap this, slide it right out, and insert your new basket. The FruitCat comes with 2 harvest baskets, and then additionals are available. We have them in stock. A set of 6 goes for about $100. And yeah, it's an incredibly nifty thing. The 14.5 amp hour battery will give you at least 4 hours of harvest time, so you know you'll be good and worn out by then. And the thing, you know, if you have a couple batteries to keep it going, you can pick up, I forget what it was, we have the specifications on our website, but you can pick up a ton of fruit in not as much time as you'd think. It's quite impressive what this thing will do. So again, made in Austria by the Organic Tools Company, the FruitCat, now available at Earth Tools. Thanks for watching.